Hi there, this is Claire Prothero from the Maverick Accelerator. Just a very quick video to give you some tips and tricks how to run a power hour strategy session. So what can often happen is your team may grow and evolve. Well, I hope so. They grow and evolve over time and they become more proficient in certain areas. Maybe they become bored of certain tasks and activities that they're doing in their business in other areas. And so as a result, when you're doing your sort of weekly or daily or monthly, whatever strategy sessions, you could be assigning tasks that people don't enjoy that they're just good at, and good is equals mediocre. So you could be assigning more of that to your team members. What you're looking for is your team to be fired up. You want them to be very efficient. You want them to be in their zones of strength. So it's very important every 4 months, I would suggest every 3 or 4 months to run one of these power hour strategy sessions where you just kind of get a reading on where everyone is at, where their growth, where the sort of the growth areas are, where they, how you can unlock potential. So I'm going to go straight over into the screen share. So if you've downloaded the freebie, this is what would have come through to you. If you haven't downloaded it, please download it. And you're going to go straight over here to the top 10 interview questions. So remembering, I mentioned in the email that this is a very versatile free resource. You can use it to interview new people in, so you hire right first time. You can use it on a one-to-one with your existing team members just to check, is everyone doing what they're passionate about, where they operate at their best, where they give of their best, where they add that accountability and responsibility because they're taking charge of their job, they're taking charge of their career. So the other third area you can use this is for a team build, and it's fabulous because it's free. So I've been a facilitator for over 15 years, nearly 20 years, and I thought I would just share with you some of my tricks how to run this kind of session. So I would book, say, an hour, 45 minutes to an hour, and you tell everyone it's just going to be a very quick check-in session. You just want intuitive responses, not overthinking. You don't want it to be a sort of a lengthy, intense session. It's just like a temperature reading of where everyone is at. The first thing you want to do is you want to do a quick check-in. Now, a check-in is simply one word. You don't have time for everyone to say, oh, this is what I've been going through. This is the problem with this project. People get stuck in there. It's called a one-word check-in. Where are you at? How are you feeling? So the value of that is if someone, for instance, on your team starts yawning during one of your sessions, you're only human. You can start to think, are they having another late night, or am I boring, or is this too much for you? So it can get our back up as a leader. So what you want to do is you just do that check-in. And when that person has said, oh, I was up with my baby all last night, I feel tired. They say I was tired. You can understand where they're at. So remembering you would just hear tired and you go, okay, I knew they were tired. You don't need to go into it. You just hear that. Someone could say enthusiastic. So you do a one-word check-in, including your own. You then go straight into guys, and you always set the parameters in facilitation. You want to say, this is a very quick, be honest about where you're at. And I would suggest just picking 3. 3 is enough to get the gauge. It says there, list 3 tasks. You're going to change it to 3. You just ask the question, 3 tasks, activities, and responsibilities you most enjoy in your workday. And you do it as a round robin. So you give them a minute to write it down. And I suggest getting people to write it down, because when people don't write it down, they start getting very lengthy in their discussions. You want them to write it down and you say, just read to me. It is also a very good way for them to affirm it because they see it visually. So you give them like a minute, write it down. Then you go, okay, next one, list the tasks and activities that you least enjoy. And it's up to you whether you go round robin, you hear what everyone says for the tasks that they enjoy, or you can sort of attach the tasks that they least enjoy. You can do that. That I would actually suggest is where they do tasks they enjoy and then tasks they least enjoy in the day. Again, just give them 1 minute to think through what their responses are and get them to read it. Please encourage people to read, because people can get very lost. Select which one is most like you. I think that this is important because You could, for instance, be sending someone to see your client because you think, oh, they're so good with the client and behavior. And actually they've got to a point in their life where they say, oh, you know, understanding relationships and that is, I'm actually finding very draining at the moment. And so you can start to make allowances in your business for that, starting to understand that may not be ideal. Then you would go the right culture. This is your sort of section 2. Again, you want to keep it nice and short and sharp. Do you prefer to work on your own or in quiet surroundings? You don't need people to explain too much. You can just have someone going, oh, I sort of enjoy it in the morning when I'm working with my team, and then I like a bit on my own. So you can kind of just get everyone to kind of be aware. Maybe the office has become very noisy and distracting, and then this is a sort of a group awareness that it's becoming an unproductive environment, or it's very productive. That's also great to hear. Okay, our environment, our open office is actually really, really productive. Then describe your ideal working environment, and you just say sort of like, oh, I like to have like my table with my nice chair, and, you know, I like to have my things around me. I enjoy interacting with my colleagues, but I don't maybe enjoy the client interaction, or I love going out and meeting clients. And then you know, some people say, oh, I never even think about breaks. Someone says it's very important for me to make breaks, have breaks. And then great power question here, question number 6. What do you consider work distractions? Again, I cannot express strongly enough. You want people to just write these down, 1, 2, 3, because people can get very sort of long-winded here. You want it clear, concise. Work distractions, it could be something like WhatsApp. So now you would be able to coach around this because now you've become aware of what those issues are. Then your 7th one is, how do you like to be managed? You know, people progress over time. In the beginning, when you've just joined a business, you like to perhaps have more structure. You like a bit more, for want of a better word, micromanagement, but you like sort of a clear direction. That's pretty norm and standard in terms of understanding people when they move into new spaces. They want to feel safe. However, if over sort of 6 months or 7 months, you have someone where they're still being managed in that kind of very nurturing, maybe a bit micromanaging kind of way, maybe they've evolved and they're looking for a new type of management, and you just want to ensure that you are managing them correctly to get the best out. Or if you have someone who's managing, is that they are aware. So this is such a great session where you're creating huge amount of awareness in the group around each other. The right passion, which one do you value most? Very important, this question, because this is how you can offer rewards. Some people are more interested in time freedom, so you would give an afternoon off. Some people, depending where they are, maybe their interest is financial freedom, so you would give them a financial perk for their reward, just to kind of keep people motivated. And then creative freedom. Often people who have come from a very dogmatic or stifling environment are craving creative freedom. So it is necessary for you to have an understanding so you can speak that person's language when you look at ways to encourage and motivate and inspire them. Which career paths have you followed, considered over the years? How do you bring this into your life today? Also, if you want to be understanding where your person is in their journey, it's very important for you again to understand what, you know, are they allowed to give their full expression in their journey, because we evolve. Some things, however, stay with us forever, that we always have this sort of like longing to be in the do a physiotherapist or something like that. And what you want to be aware of is, if someone has that longing and that inner desire, you want to know where they are in the journey of fulfilling that. Because if you're not in the business of physiotherapy, you're going to have a problem when that person leaves. So you want to have that sort of long vision, and asking this question, and it's done in a very kind of authentic way where we're all just trying to be honest about who we are and where we're going. Well, pay dividends because you can preempt where that person is in their journey. And then finally, tip number 10 or question number 10 is think of when you are at your best, both personally or at work. I would suggest think about it at work because you're running this very particularly in a power strategy session. So this is where you can, what a great idea I've thought of is you can talk about a project that you worked on. And you can say, think back to a project. What was it that you were doing? Why was it so great? Because then you get an idea of what makes this person tick and how to emulate. How can you recreate that? Because then you can start seeing who is best assigned for what project, what client. So that's it. I wish you all the best. This should take an hour. And you will get, let me stop the share. This will take an hour and you will get a real clear barometer reading of where people are at in their journey, how they operate at their best, when they're operating at their best. So I wish you well. If anyone hasn't done the Maverick Accelerator yet, or you still want some of your team to do the Maverick Accelerator, you can go to www.maverickaccelerator.com. And this is a tool to help liberate you to create more efficiency in your business and to allow people to operate at their best. Bye for now.